Social media marketing for real estate investors. That's the topic for today's episode. And without further ado, let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Today is actually a very special one. We have officially hit over 1,000 subscribers. To be exact, we actually have 1,265 subscribers. And it's all thanks to this mastermind right here, who also happens to be my boyfriend, Anthony Llanos. Anthony, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Lucy. I just want to say thank you for inviting me to the channel. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for joining. So this was all his idea, mainly because he wanted to share with you guys the importance of applying the concept of social media marketing into your business. Whether you're a real estate investor or you're a small business owner, social media is very important nowadays. It's kind of like the radio/newspaper version of what used to be the type of marketing that will gain a lot of traction. So nowadays is what? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and stuff like that, right?
Yes, more or less. Google Ads.
Yeah. Okay, you see? So I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably wondering, why are we doing this? And so we wanted to share a little bit about the background on how this channel actually got started. So there's no secret that I am an elite legacy student, and the program actually helped me grow to the extent that I never even thought it was going to be possible. So I went from 0 to 24 properties in a period of 6 months. And then I got asked to actually go to different classes and actually share my story. And then eventually a lot of people started reaching out to me. They started asking me questions. And it was a little overwhelming because sometimes I will share one thing with one person and then eventually share something else with the other person. And I'll be like, oh, I forgot. And so Anthony actually noticed my pain, and he came up with this idea. Hey, how about we start? We put a series of videos together, and whoever reaches out to you or gets to know you at one of those elite symposiums and stuff like that, you just give them your link, and that way you can share your story. You capture everything in one place, and that way you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. And slowly, it actually turned into a whole idea about YouTube, because we feel very passionate about helping people. We were helped along our journey by a lot of different people that were unrelated to us, who believed in us. And so we wanted to kind of like return the favor to the world, basically. And we wanted to do it in a way that was easy to adapt by today's society, and that's how you came up with the idea of using YouTube to make the information available for all of you guys. So before we even dive into the nitty-gritty of social media, do you want to actually share with the viewers how you arrived to where you are today? Like, what made you put the entire marketing strategy together just so we can actually achieve over 1,000 subscribers in less than 3 weeks?
All right, so first things first, like I say, thank you so much for having me in your show. And well, I just gotta say, like, it was hard. Like, it wasn't easy. It was a painful experience.
Sure
it was a lot of losing money, first of all. It was a trial and error thing. There is not many places or like institutions that you can go and learn social media marketing. So that's why like all the things that I learned was pretty much trying one thing, seeing what works, see what doesn't work, and losing money along the way. But I couldn't.
He didn't lose money on my channel though.
I mean, I'm saying because I've been doing this for like, I would say like 3 years, like almost 3 years. And started all the way from scratch, didn't know what I wanted to learn, but along the way I found some mentors, some people that could have been like via video, learning from YouTube, or from people along the way teaching me how to do stuff, specifically social media marketing.
And that's why you feel like you want to return the favor as well.
That's correct.
Right?
Okay, so by the time I started with Lucy, I think she had like 79 subscribers. 79.
Yeah, something to that line.
I remember it was 79 because I was tracking the progress. And then I was like, okay, let's record different videos. In each video, you're gonna tell a story, and that's gonna be your personal story. Because one of the things that you should know, especially if you are creating your brand, if you're creating your your own YouTube channel, or maybe you have a store, is that people relate to a story. So if your story, if you sound sincere, it's actually coming from within you. People are gonna relate to that. So whether you're gonna put that video on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, people are gonna watch it because they're gonna connect with you. And that's what happened with some of the ads that we created for Lucy, because she truly cared about her audience, and she was devoted to actually helping, not only like getting subscribers, views, but actually helping the people out genuinely.
Yeah, I actually got viewers, and I'm sure you know this because you reach out to me, who wrote to me via Facebook, who left me private messages, who sent me emails. There were times he came home and I was crying because I was like, oh my God, like this woman just told me about her story. I feel so bad. And it was so gratifying. People sending me emails thanking me because now they were looking for the answer, and they were so glad they clicked on the ad and that they gave the channel a chance, and now their lives are actually different and are improving for the better.
Got it. So, and also to make some key points valid is kind of like after like sharing her story in the videos, we were thinking. I mean, I was.
Yeah, he was thinking.
I mean,
let's be honest.
I was thinking
about something else.
I was thinking about like, okay, so what is the best platform to share these videos? So we were analyzing. Okay, so we had these videos. She's telling her story, and it was pretty good. Like it came out really good because we show different aspects of her life, like going to symposiums, like going to real estate events, going to on vacation or traveling. And plus adding some songs. And that's one big tip is whenever you want to launch an ad, whenever you're going to launch a video, try to add some music to that. You'll see what the difference is going to make between adding a song to the video versus just keeping it like simple.
It transforms emotions. It spikes emotions.
That's correct. People. So we were analyzing, okay, which platform should we use for these videos? And like I was thinking, okay, Instagram, I don't think that's the best choice because most people just go there just to see memes or like some videos, something workout
funny,
videos,
to relax, cute dogs, cute cats. Just something to distract your mind from the day to day, basically.
That's correct. So, and then we were thinking about Facebook. Okay, like what Facebook can offer. I know because I've been doing this for like 3 years, is that Facebook, the majority of audience are into their 20s and 30s. I mean, they can see a video for probably for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, but a long video for like 10, 20, like you might see these videos are like 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're not going to be sitting on the Facebook just watching the video unless it's like extremely like entertaining, which our content or the content that she provides is a little bit dry. Like it's not too fun about like learning.
It's not meant to make you laugh. Let's just put it that way. It's intense learning, a lot of information compressed, and 15, 20 minutes. I'll let you finish the story.
That's correct. So it's pretty long, and even though we were able to drive some audience from Facebook to YouTube so they can actually see our content, it wasn't like really reliable because the amount of people, even though they were going to the page, they weren't subscribing, or they were like just
they were bouncing out of the channel.
They were just leaving the content. So I was analyzing the stats and see, okay, so Facebook doesn't work. Instead of losing money like the way I did before, I'm actually now pretty good at seeing, okay, this ad works, this doesn't work. We need to delete this. So we concentrated mainly on YouTube. So if you saw some of her ads, like it's pretty organic. You're gonna see it pretty much on the suggested area of YouTube, and you're gonna see in a how-to video. So anything that you will see there will be like, okay, how to find the financing, how to leverage credit cards to buy real estate. So we weren't selling anything because what happens is that you can have different type of ads. I'm sure you've seen these ones. Like you can see the skip ad at the beginning of the video. It's pretty good if it's really entertaining. But since our product is pretty dry, like it's hard to sell a product like that in that type of content. So we decided to just put it next to the videos, suggested area, and related videos to the videos that we're promoting.
And to your point, nobody wants to be sold, especially when you're seeking information. We're not selling anything either. We just wanted to put the information out there. But when you go into YouTube, you see all of these videos that are ranking with God knows how many views, and then all of a sudden, you know, a tiny little video with like 1 or 2 views, and it's just, how do you make it all the way to the top? And basically that was what the strategy was about. How to expose that information to the viewers like you. And it's the same thing with you, right? How do you expose your business? Because you know, you are very well aware that you have an excellent product, you just haven't put it out. And how do you do that? Like, you know, you can make a difference, whether you're selling real estate, whether you're selling consulting, whether you're selling a service. Like, we're all in this for business, but how do you make it out there? How do you distinct yourself from everyone else, right? And that's what he managed to do. He managed to create a content or type of content that were very organic, that were clickable. I think,
Yes.
Am I using the right term? Clickable.
Yeah.
Not just that, but it can also be applicable to multiple audiences. So it's not like the typical prank video. We'll go into the suggested section of funny videos. Real estate, people seeking for happiness, people seeking to grow. It can be applicable to multiple audiences out there, and you managed to actually tap into all of that. How did you figure it out?
Okay, and so basically how do I did that is in a funny way. Like, this will be like a really big tip for you, is you need to know your competitors. So we already watched a bunch of videos from different channels related to the content that she's sharing. So, and we analyzed like, how can we even make it better? So besides like putting the content in there, we decided to just say, okay, how can we make this much better than other YouTube channels that you're gonna see in the same topics? First of all, we analyze the videos, so we see what type of content are they sharing, and all basically what they're sharing is in a very high level. They don't teach you like the nitty gritty, you know. So I say like, okay, it's gonna be better for you to actually use the board, which is
my wall here.
So, and then we position the videos on this channel as a suggested video, and that's how I managed to actually drive all this traffic to her videos, because the content was good, unique. It was actually more elaborated than most videos that you will be able to find in YouTube. And she was actually walking you from point A to point Z in her computer and her phone, and showing you actually in the own screen, like the board behind us. And that's why we knew that this type of content is gonna be good, and people are gonna be seeking for that because it's unique.
Right, and I completely agree. And so now that you're talking from an expert standpoint, right? What would you share with someone who has no experience in social media, right? Because like, we have people from different levels. I'm sure some of you actually know a lot about and can totally relate to what he's talking about in Shopify, Facebook ads and stuff like that. But what would you share with those who are probably hearing this for the first time? Maybe they knew about social media, but they're like, some people might be like, wait, I didn't know Facebook had ads, right? Like, so for those who are new into social media marketing, the newbies, what would you suggest them? How should they get started? Where can they get started?
Okay, I feel like some tips I can give you if you want to get started with social media marketing is to understand each platform and what type of ads or what type of videos, content can you publish in each platform. What I mean by that, so if you're gonna go on Facebook, it's gonna be hard to actually teach something to someone. And why do I say that? Because the content is mainly to just have fun, to see funny videos like memes, to see like workout videos. Like, it's gonna be really hard to actually teach in a 1-minute video to someone. So you need to make the content. For each specific platform. So if you're gonna go on YouTube, the type of content that you actually want to launch in YouTube is gonna be informative. People go on YouTube to search for stuff. And I don't know if you ever heard the term of YouTube it. So if you don't know the answer, go to Google or Google it. It's the same thing. So on YouTube, you actually go to learn. You go on to so see different things that you probably didn't know and you seeking an answer to. On the Instagram, you just go to see probably some memes like workout videos. And although many people are gonna say, okay, I learned a couple of things from Instagram, but like personally speaking, like driving traffic from Instagram to someone's page, like for the business that I work for, it hasn't been reliable at the moment. So I can tell you Facebook is pretty good. You need to understand Facebook and what type of videos should you share on Facebook. So I think that those are going to be my key points into like some tips to get you started.
So thank you for sharing that for those who are new. And so now let's move on to the next level up. So those who are in between, who kind of like understand the differences between the platforms, but don't know how to actually get started. I believe you actually have a playlist where you walk the audience through all of it. Everything from how to set up a Facebook ad. You even recorded the progress and the back end of how you grew this channel from when you first took it over to what it is now. So maybe you can share with them a little bit about that.
Okay, so basically what I did is that I created a video because I just wanted to track her progress and just show it to your audience, basically her audience, of how I did it. So that video is going to be on my channel, and that video is going to elaborate in how I use YouTube ads, not only showing you in the front end, but I can actually show you in the back end, highlighting the steps that I took to do YouTube ads, Facebook ads. So the video is really interesting.
Before you keep diving further, can you explain for those who don't know what back end and front end means?
Okay, so basically the front end is basically what I'm telling you right now. Okay, analyze the platform, like what type of content are you going to post in your social media?
It's what you're seeing in front of you.
What are you seeing in front of you? The back end is actually going to the statistics, showing you how much money I'm putting in the ad, showing what I'm showing the type of video that we decided to use for hair ads.
What type of pictures, the lighting, the words, what to put in the description, that type of thing?
That's correct.
Okay, so thank you for explaining. Now let's continue with the story.
Okay, so like I said, I think you're gonna link the playlist. You're gonna link it on the description. I think.
Yes, I'm gonna actually add that for those who are interested in watching how he took this channel to the next level, and also learning a little bit about Facebook and stuff like that. His contact information is also going to be available for those business owners who are actually tuning in, or for those who actually want to build the YouTube channel and just take it to the next level. So that way you can reach out to Anthony and have him help you guys out. Yeah, so back to the playlist story.
Okay, so in the playlist, it's free of charge. I'm just sharing my information. I feel like most people are in the look for that type of information, but they don't know how to look for that. So in that playlist, you're going to see some of the latest videos. Keep in mind, in my channel, I share mainly about my traveling experiences, how I leverage different ways I can do, different type of methods that I do to travel for free and experience it around the world. But in that specific playlist, you're going to be able to find the YouTube training, the Facebook training. You're gonna see another video that I actually did in how you can actually do YouTube videos, but instead of paying for YouTube videos, you can actually rank organically. So it's gonna take you longer, and probably it's gonna take you a little bit more than a year.
and for those who are actually wondering, well, it sounds like this guy's all over the place. It's not, because if you come to think of it, a happy person, it's a well-rounded person. So you are not only rich here, you also have to be rich here. So for us, it wasn't just about pursuing our dreams, our career, real estate versus social media marketing. It's also about being complete. Like, we like to travel, we like to enjoy learning about different cultures, so like it all ties back together. I'm sure a lot of you are pursuing real estate because you want a better lifestyle, because you enjoy it, but you also want to provide for your family. You want to be a business owner who doesn't have to be tied to the business. You can actually take days, sometimes even weeks, hop your family on a plane and just go all over the world and just see what's out there. So that's basically what the concept of his channel is, because I I don't want you guys to get the perception, well, he jumped from traveling and then all of a sudden to social media. It all ties back together. Social media has a great impact on how you can actually push your business to the next level. Let me give you an example. So back in the days when I was little, I remember my dad used to promote the restaurant at the local newspaper, but that will only stay at the local level, in that little town called Maracay, and that was basically what it was. But with social media, you can not only apply that to, let's say, for example, New York, you can take it to California, you can go international if you want to, which at some point we did test that in the international market. Yeah. We've actually gotten some subscribers from Africa, Nigeria, the UK, and even Ireland.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And one more thing, like elaborating a little bit more into how you can get specific into like social media marketing, and that's the beauty of it, because the difference between a radio, TV ad, like newspaper ad, they might still work, but with social media you can actually go detail. You can actually pick the demographics. You want guys to see your ads, you want like women to see your ads, you want people between the age of maybe 35, 45. Who is your target audience?
Yeah, you can be broad, but you can be specific at the same time, and it's all within your control. Like, you don't have to abide by the rules of the marketer. Well, if you want to target this audience, we want to charge you more. No, you can actually select that and determine the budget. Although the budget, that will be another story, but that's what you're going to cover in the playlist, so we don't want to make this video too long.
And actually I wanted to share one more thing,
yeah.
And this is something that a lot of people kind of like say, because they ask me, okay, what do you do for a living? So yeah, they say social media marketing, and they'll be like, okay, so you put the ads in front of people, but they say, oh, I never watch the ads. But you know, if
you do, you guys watch more ads than you think. Otherwise, how did you wind up in my channel? You watched the ad.
That's correct. So that's correct. Like, if you don't think that it works, and so my question for you will be, why are you watching the video? In a sense, because you already clicked the ad and you subscribe to this channel. So I guess my point is that most people say, okay, YouTube ads, okay, I don't watch them. I don't want to do that in my business. How do you know? Have you ever tested it? And have you ever actually put money into it to see if you actually get leads, traffic, you get people in your restaurant, or actually you are able to grow our brand like we did? Mm-hmm. And what happens is that Facebook and YouTube and all these platforms, it allows you to show different ads.
So basically, like, it's not just for this type of business. Let's say, for example, you decide to open a restaurant and you want to showcase how beautiful your restaurant is, the food. You want to showcase some emotions about people and families sitting in your restaurant and enjoying it. For those who want to do wholesaling, you can actually use that to collect emails. You can actually target people who are trying to sell the house, but they're too embarrassed to admit in public that they want to sell the house. And then all of a sudden, boom, they see your ad. You can expose your brand and your business to a level that it's unimaginable. And it's all done, if you do it right, a cents of the dollars. Now, I mean, it didn't cost him cents of the dollars at the time when he was testing the model. But, you know, it's a slow progress. You learn. It wasn't easy for me when I learned about real estate. It's definitely painful, but there's a saying that goes, if you feel the pain, it's because it's working, right? Yeah. And so the key is taking a step back and assessing whether it's working or not. And I think we both did that in spite of how painful it was. We assessed, we took the lessons learned, the positive out of it, and we just completely disregard the negative. We took some of the negative to become better. But we didn't get stuck in it, and I think that's basically what it's key. Social media is very important. It's not easy to learn. It seems easy on the front because we typically tend to go to social media to relax. Even when you're seeking for content in YouTube, it's someone else has put it already together for you. So
and before I forget, one key, like, if something that I want to take away, I want you to take away from this interview is that if you ever like decide to promote your business via social media, make sure that the video that you're gonna promote, it doesn't seem like an ad. So if you see in your phone, like, without realizing, like, you already clicked on it because you didn't even know that it was an ad. So that's how you know that you actually are a good marketer. because the content that you're posting, it looks pretty much like a social media post.
Okay, so now that we know a little bit about the tips, social media marketing for investors, and how Facebook works, how YouTube works, why don't you share with us a little bit about yourself? I actually met Anthony when he was, what, like 3 businesses in social media. So why don't you share with everyone a little bit about how you actually got started? I remember you had a Shopify store.
For the ones that don't know, I'm probably you saw like a bunch of ads. Okay, start your e-commerce store and start selling products. And although that seems like an idea, and I would say it's not bad, but you gotta understand there's gonna be a lot of competition. Amazon is your first competitor.
Right.
So basically, what this concept is that you're gonna create an online store. Shopify is gonna be the host. Shopify is gonna be the one that is gonna give you the website. I mean, you gotta pay for that. And you can actually connect your website to a manufacturer on China. Basically, the model that happens is that I bring traffic to the store, and as soon as I get a sale, I tell the manufacturer in China, okay, send this product to their house.
Right.
So I'm kind of like doing the wholesaling of the product. So I get it for a cheaper price, send it to my customer for like maybe $10, $20 profit per product.
Which is in essence not that much different from like the business models from nowadays, right? You get your store, your brick and mortar, and then you buy merchandise typically from China, and then you sell it to the person that walks into your store. With the difference is that we don't have an actual physical store. Our store was actually online. So when I met Anthony, my knowledge of e-commerce stores was actually very limited. I knew about online stores like Amazon, like the big guy. And I will see ads on Facebook, and I always thought that behind that ad, there was actually a physical store behind it. And it wasn't until I met him that the whole idea actually changed. He started telling me about passive income, how you can actually be out and still get sales and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I mean, you can mimic that with the store. But then he's like, no, like I'm talking about sales, like an actual store that you can let running. And that's when I became very interested, and I started asking, okay, so tell me more. Like, tell me more.
Okay, so although the business model sounds interesting, it sounds like something that you can do with no money, basically. I think the concept is a little bit broken because you're not delivering a real product. What I mean by a real product, and that is going back, kind of like tying these things to the channel and why this channel is being successful, and we already have like 1,000 something more subscribers, because our products were replicas. You can get that in Amazon. You can get that in different stores.
And there's always going to be somebody who can offer the same product at a much cheaper price. So we were actually making penny profit. We were working up to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I had to get up at 6 to go to work. You also had your job, but yours didn't have to set 9 to 5. Like your hours were like very different from one day to another, but you still had to like, we both worked really hard.
And I would say, long story short, like we came to the realization, like she said, we opened different stores. I opened my first store, which I was selling phone cases. Then the second store, I was selling like dog products.
Doggy products.
And then the third store, we were selling general store, pretty much everything.
Something that was trending at the time, like the widgets, the something that was hot at the time. I forgot what it was.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when I tell you that I lost a lot of money, it's not even a joke. I think I lost over this time like 7,000, like 8,000 just in trial and errors. So by this time, if you want to say who's an expert, is the one that's been doing it, and who
hasn't given up.
Who hasn't given up, and is the one who's delivered the value, who's delivering like the product, which I'm doing right now with her products.
There's no secret, Shopify is a big thing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching are either involved in Shopify right now, or was involved at some point, or has launched a couple of business sites leveraging that platform. And so we're talking to a man who had actually done it all to that extent. So share with everyone how you even got the whole idea of online marketing, online business, how you got started from the point where you actually decided to drop out of college to pursue this.
Okay, so we're gonna take this like a couple years back since I started doing social media marketing. How did I start it, most importantly? So it goes down like when I was going to college. When I was going to college, I was involved in an internship and I was studying to be a nutritionist. I was 2 years inside of school, which was pretty good at the time. But what I realized sooner or later is when I was in the internship that I saw a lot of people major on what I wanted to do, which was nutrition. And what happened is that I started talking to them and listening to what they have to say and their own experience of like how is life after graduating of college. And keep in mind, they had already like a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that I asked them, okay, so how are you doing? And they told me like they pretty much doing the same internship. Some of them were not getting paid. And I was getting paid at the time like $20 per hour or so.
So you're saying they had a master's and they were still doing an internship, an unpaid one?
That's correct.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so the reason why I got the paid internship and not the internship where you're not getting even paid is because I knew someone. So I talked to him. So basically, the way I met this guy is I was working in a nutrition store, supplement store, and he came to the store and he asked me, "Hey Anthony, like about the products," and he loved the way that I was teaching about nutrition, supplements, and things that the product was gonna do to their body.
So you were very thorough.
That's correct. And I explained to him that I wanted to do more, like I wanted to immerse myself in the field.
Okay.
So he was saying like he was working in a hospital, so he gave me a paid internship in a hospital. I was doing research in diabetes, blood pressure, and basically, like I said, I started like interacting with the people that already finished school, and pretty much I came to the conclusion like why these people already have a master, they already have a bachelor's degree, and some of them are getting paid $20 an hour while they're actually on debt for like 50, 60, 70K. I was surprised. So that was the beginning of the journey. Like I think I told you a couple of times.
Right. So Anthony and I actually differ on our views in school. He poo-poos in school all the time. I chose the traditional path. For those who haven't heard my story, here's the car. But to sum it up, my parents were small business owners. They were actually chained to the business, working 80 hours a week, if not more. And I was kind of like the little slave as well. And so for me, going from 80 hours to 40 working in corporate America with a degree wasn't that much of a bad deal. So we've learned to live with it or with our differences. As you can see, we've joined forces on what we're really good at. And in this case, he is great in social media marketing. I like to say that I am good in real estate. Hopefully you guys think so too. So what happened next? Like, did you drop out right away? Okay. Did you quit? Like, what happened?
It gets a little bit interesting because I realized that basically I was at the end of the semester. So, you know, like in college you have like spring break, then you have summertime, then you have like fall, winter, and you take your classes, right? So I took a break because I finished school at that time. Like the semester was done, and when I came back to actually register for this next classes, I came to the realization that I was gonna pay thousands of dollars for just one class. And then I started to think about, is this something that I really want to do? Because where I was doing the research, we were like sitting in a classroom, like looking at walls. And I asked myself, is that something that you want to do the rest of your life? And then I think what happened is that like I said like, okay, so I'm not gonna get myself in the debt because it was a lot of money, and most of that time I was kind of like, even though I was living with my grandparents, pretty much I was paying all myself. Like they weren't like helping me financially, so the little money that I made, it was gonna go to that payment.
Right.
And I also realized that what are the things that I learned on this degree that I'm actually implementing and that I didn't forget. So I think that was really important on my transition between dropping out of school and starting like a e-commerce site where I actually was hands-on on the experience and I had to learn it all myself. And I'm surprised because I never saw myself doing the things that I do right now, which is social media marketing, being in a different country, like came at the age of 17 and like simply kind of like doing it all by myself because most of the times my family didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, it's definitely a lonely road for him and for me, and luckily we found each other. So, and I know I'm going a bit on a tangent here, but for you to be able to be successful in what you do, you have to find a partner who understands you. Not so much understand the business model, but understands you. Because believe it or not, a partner can take a lot away from you, whether it's in business, whether it's in a personal relationship like we are. It is a lonely road. And if you're going to come home to someone, it better be someone who is going to bring you up, who's going to make you feel that you're doing something right. Because I remember when I met Anthony and he was pursuing his social media business, his family didn't really understand much of what he did. But for some reason it makes sense to me. So I understood what he was doing. And same thing with me. My family wasn't really too understanding. They were wondering, what is it that you always want more? Like, isn't it enough? You already have a master's. Like, what more do you want to stop? And they didn't understand that what I wanted was to spend more time with them rather than being locked up in an office 9 to 5, sometimes even longer than that. So how was it for you? Like the loneliness, how did you cope with it and put it all together and become who you are today in social media?
I would say, like you say, it's a hard thing to do because sometimes most people don't understand what are you trying to do, especially when you grew up in a family who like they want the best for you and they think the only road to achieve greatness or try to achieve something is actually going to school, going to college.
The traditional route.
Traditional route. So when you're trying to do something different, it's kind of like scary for them. They don't understand it because it's not a degree that you're pursuing. It's not a degree that I was pursuing. But over time, I think my mom and my family understood what I'm doing. Like they still don't understand in like a fully of like how I do social media, how I leverage different platforms, kind of like what I do for a living until now. But I would say they don't question me no more. They don't say, okay, you got to go to school, you got to finish your education. I would say I'm happy where I'm at because my job or what I do is pretty flexible. So I'm able to most of the time just work from home.
Yeah.
And kind of like just spend time with my family.
He doesn't have to take vacations. I have to request vacation days when we travel. He just takes off.
And I think that in itself, I think if you wanna like if you were asking me like why did you decide to make a change of how was the road or how was your journey like getting towards to where I'm at today. I would say it was lonely, pursuing what I believed on, and that was basically not working a 9 to 5 job, and kind of like leveraging social media to make a living out of it. And that's basically what I'm doing. I do videography, and I do social media marketing. So 2 things that I think I'm really good at, and yeah.
Agreed. And keep your mind in the end goal. If it makes sense for you, if you strongly believe in it and you think you can make it work, just shun it out, ignore them. Some people want the best for you, some others not so much, so you don't need friends like that in your life.
I do want the best for you. Whatever you're going through, I really truly believe that you can do it.
True. We do. So that's it for today. And if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to Anthony or to check out his channel. He has tons and tons of information on social media marketing to share that I'm sure is going to be extremely valuable to you guys. And of course, I'm always here as well for those who have questions regarding real estate. And I think that's all we have to share. Let us know what your thoughts are. Feel free to make a comment down below or to ask us questions. We look forward to hear from you and see what you thought about today's episode. And if you like it more, let us know what is it that you will seek to learn, and we'll love to create more content regarding this topic together. And don't forget to subscribe or share the love with anyone that you think it's gonna find this information helpful. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.
Take care.